Why is it not okay to talk to homeless people? I'm going to tell you something all your parents should have told you too. When you talk to a homeless person, that homeless person is stuck in public. When you talk to them, people see that and they jump to conclusions. When you talk to a homeless person, even good-willed and good-intentioned, let's say you're a little girl who sees a homeless man and she wants to come across and give him $5. Or there's a little boy who's wondering why this homeless person is homeless and is just curious and wants to know. Even though the parents are close by and they're monitored, doesn't matter. There are bystanders that will literally beat that man to death. While calling him a chimo, a pedophile, all sorts of crazy shit just because you talked to that homeless man. Homeless men are the most likely people to be murdered in this country by a lot. Something your parents won't tell you is that because you talked to a homeless person, there might be some crazy nut job in your town who's got a lot of trauma and just wants to find someone that they can take that aggression out on. When you talk to that homeless person, there is a possibility that that will result in that homeless person being beaten to death, being shot, being stabbed, being incarcerated. The reason you should not be talking to homeless people is because you will get them killed. The American public doesn't care about the law, they care about appearances. Because that's what we're all judged by when it comes to our peers. And our peers in real life have the ability to put their hands on us. They have the ability to harm us and to harm our families and to harm our friends. We're just going to jump to conclusions. Doesn't matter how good intentioned you were in talking to that homeless person. I don't see very many. There's a lot of panhandlers that when somebody stops and talks to them, they're supposed to but your parents should be telling you this. Parents are already aware of, and you know what? Goes and talks to a homeless person. That parent will go harm the homeless person in front of their kid. That's an okay thing to do. It's not. It's not okay to walk down the street with your child hand in hand. They're going to beat you, or the people most likely to commit sexual assault are your parent, Erica. Here. It is unsafe. We're all based on your opinions, not on the reality of anyone's situation. The majority of interactions out here are innocent enough. You go to a grocery store, you talk to the grocery teller. Does it matter how old the grocery teller is, really? Are you there to check everybody's ID, or are you there to get groceries? We have to be worried that any situation that we're in could be twisted or manipulated based on people's opinions. There's a lot of short people that I've seen talking to homeless people. Short people that from a distance to them, you realize they're in their mid-30s, some of them. They're just really small. And I've seen the complications that have arisen from that. The violence and stupidity. It is a very big deal when people don't go after the right person. And who's taking the blame? Who harmed you and who are you taking it out on? People who harmed you, something you're likely to. We can break that trap together to do that. Touch your kids. Grow up in the system and it ain't nice. A lot of us were not in there because we were bad kids. We were in there because we had naughty parents. That goes for me. That goes for Natalie Bollinger. That goes for Alicia Bollinger. That goes for my older brother Eric, my little sister Tara, and my little brother Michael. When homeless people try to deal with a bunch of people that are traumatized out on the streets, man, you're getting real friendly with kids. It's real scary, isn't it? Now, the people that are close enough to hear what you're saying to them, you're saying, hey, could you leave me alone? You coming down here and talking to us could get any one of us beaten up or killed. Please, could you not come down here and do this to us? And for the homeless, we understand a lot of them youngins are coming down there because they're not getting the right kind of attention at home. For a lot of us, we didn't get the right kind of attention at home either. We had families that loved us conditionally. As long as we do what they want when they want. Meanwhile, they couldn't agree on the color of shit. Natalie Bollinger was somebody that I knew when she was a kid. And I always ran her off. And her twin sister, Alicia, I knew her when she was a kid, and I always ran her off. They got into drugs. And they did a lot of wrong things. By the time they became adults and wanted to be friends with me, their family and their friends had already traumatized them to the point where they were strung out on drugs, and very heavy drugs. A lot of my loved ones are dead. specifically because of this specific issue, people's opinions do get people killed. Benjamin Harvey is proof of that. Natalie Bollinger is proof of that. Between getting into them drugs and speaking out, please speak out instead. Statistically, a homeless person is more likely to run away from you. But they've endured trauma, and if you gang up on them, yes, they're going to act like they're scared. And sometimes that comes out as aggression. When you decide that you just want to take out your bad day on a homeless person, and you and your friends are screaming at them that they must be, and you and your friends are yelling and screaming that at them, you could get them killed. And it's all just because you already know, even at that age here in America, that when somebody does something to you, you can take it out on a homeless person, especially a homeless man. For a homeless man even telling you that it's not okay for you to be there as a child could get him treated like he's some sort of child molester. I found that I was better at getting people to leave than most, because I would tell them, hey, you're gonna get someone hurt. They look at you youngins out here talking to the homeless people, and although not everybody assumes the worst, the ones who do assume the worst are going to hurt people. Do people hurt others for no reason? No, it's over opinions. Opinions of who they can get away with doing it to, who they have access to, who they have ready access to. Predators can find a homeless person any time, day and night. A lot of people who attack us homeless folks, I've seen parents come down and beat on people because they accepted change from somebody who was under 18. I got to see that on the Pearl Street Mall, Boulder, Colorado. The guy didn't come down to be reasonable. And when your kid's telling you, while you're beating on somebody, your kid is yelling at you, hey, that's not what happened. No, that's not what happened. I gave him some change. Dad, leave him alone. Dad, stop. Dad, you're making a scene. Dad, stop, please. He just wanted to hurt somebody. By the way, that man got away with it. He did that outside of old Chicago's on the Pearl Street Mall in Boulder, Colorado. People will stab homeless people. They will shoot homeless people. They will run homeless people over with their car. There's even homeless people every year who get killed by beer bottles hitting them in the head. Please don't talk to homeless people if you're not an adult. That's the moral of the story with Natalie Bollinger. What did I do when her and her sister came down when they were children and wanted to hang out with homeless people? I tried to tell them how it is and hoped that they would leave for our safety. Ours. A lot of those children are garbage monsters. They just throw trash all over the place, and then people see trash down there and they blame the homeless. So the homeless pick it up, and there's people in Boulder who are known for picking up garbage who have gotten littering tickets for picking up trash. It's not difficult for somebody to tell just by looking at my vehicle that I'm homeless, so I don't have money to get a lawyer. Police are not likely to care. They just say mentally ill and it's magically okay. People wanted me to be a horrible monster, and they painted me as a horrible monster. They backed me into a corner and expected me to do nothing. They expected me not to speak up about being assaulted, about my friends and family being threatened. The message on the front of here, that's from my little sister. Her name is Tara. Many, many years ago, there was a young woman named Maddie Boa. And she was one of the youngins I tried to run off. She later became a drug addict. She had a couple of friends down there. Twin sisters named Natalie and Alicia Bollinger. I tried to run them all off. I tried explaining to them, hey, when you come down here, people see that and they make bad assumptions and they hurt us over it. And them youngins always blow it off like it's no big deal, like it's no big thing. I want you to take a look at the actual predators that I have had to deal with because of people's assumptions of what I might do. When you're embarrassed, blaming all your BS on a homeless person is not okay. The people that scare me the most, there's a lot of young women who have told me who their abusers are. And the police wouldn't do anything about their abusers. Instead, those young women were locked up for telling on their parents. Those young women literally had to cut on themselves to try to get attention because nobody would listen. because they were just kids. Natalie Bollinger was one of those girls. She came down to see the homeless people because her family life was shit. I'm sorry for using bad language. But her dad was one of them bad men that your parents pretend all homeless people are. That's why she preferred the company of homeless people. And her dad had her selling drugs when she was underage. So as much as she may have wanted to follow my advice to not be down there and to understand that she was putting people's lives at risk, her dad wanted her to sell drugs. So that's what she did. Many, many, many years later, when Natalie and her twin sister Alicia were adults, we became friends. By then, however, they were strung out on drugs because of abuse from their parents and access to those drugs. Natalie was a very nice person. When she was an adult and we became friends, she told me who her abusers were. As a child and also as an adult. But she was also very small. So it didn't matter that she was an adult. Because she talked to me, people just wanted to assume the worst. There's a lot of women in my life that I've known that are very small. And I tell them that I am afraid to be friends with them because they are small and because people will make bad assumptions. When you're a homeless man, can get one of us killed. Jealous boyfriends, angry dads. Some man or woman who's been cheated on. All stuff the kids shouldn't have to worry about. But your parents make you worry about it. There are a lot of bad people in the world. Most people don't do bad things because they're evil. They do bad things because they're scared. Most people are scared of what other people will think. Their parents, their siblings, their friends, their trusted adults. And I personally know how hard it is to go to your trusted adults, the people who are supposed to be your trusted adults, when those trusted adults have abused you. I know how scary that is. When I try to tell youngins not to talk to homeless people, it's not for them youngins' safety, it's for those homeless people's safety. And that's not to say that those children's safety is never close at heart, because it is. They'd be far safer if they didn't idolize a lifestyle that is hell. How many rappers we hear rapping about eating out of garbage cans? Please don't idolize the life, and please do not talk to homeless people. You might get them killed or worse.